Hey, what's up, everybody?
What's going on?
This is Tony.
And I'm Jenny.
And we are Lido Loca, and it's the Lido Loca Cruise Podcast, episode 18.
Wow. I'm so glad to be back.
Welcome back.
Thank you. So, Tony.
Yeah, Jenny, what's up?
What's up with you? What's going on in the cruising world?
Man, we're still holding tight with the cruising shutdown.
Right.
Since you and I last spoke, there have been, another extension of cruising being on hold. But realistically, I think this is going to keep happening.
I think so. I think that, my speculation, and that's all this is, right, is our speculation, our opinion, nothing set in stone. But my speculation is that, I think they're just going to do it in a little bit of increments. I don't think they can just come out and say, all right, because already they've been shut down for almost 2 months.
Yeah.
And, why didn't you just cancel 3 months at a time, But I feel like they're just going to do it 30-day increments, which is a smart business move. If they say, we're canceling cruising for 6 months and then all of a sudden, things turn around and we can be cruising like 3 months ago,
Right. Yeah. And so to your point, it's all speculation.
Absolutely.
But let's just speculate then. So say, for example, that in some boardroom somewhere that the decision's been made that realistically cruising won't happen for the next 5 months.
Right.
But they haven't canceled for 5 months in a row. I just don't think they could cancel for 5 months in a row. It would right now, the cruise industry is in such a challenging position because there's some hardcore cruisers that love cruising.
Right.
And there are people out there that I've seen, that I've talked to, that says as soon as they open the gangway, come hell or high water, it doesn't matter. They're going to get right on the cruise ship regardless of what.
Here I come.
Yeah, so you have that whole group of people out there. And so I'm assuming that you don't want to dampen that spirit. Right? And if you canceled for 4 months at a time, I think you run the risk of bumming some people out.
Right. That. And you know what? If you cancel at, again, speculation, you cancel 4 months out, those people don't have to pay their final payment, so there's no cash flow in the business. That's my thought.
Okay. To me, that makes me feel a little icky. Like if you're just staying open so that you get the cash flow.
No, you know what I mean?
No, I get what you're saying, but I'm just saying that's a little, I don't know.
It's a business. When it comes
Right.
down to it, it's a business. They have to keep going, right?
Right.
So, they're sending back refunds. They're doing future cruise credits. Some cruise lines are doing onboard credits. So, it's a business. It makes sense for them not to cancel, 4 months out. So I get the 30-day increments. I think for me, like as a travel agent, the 30-day increments is like, just that last week when you kind of feel like you have almost caught up, then the next round comes, and that's good, right? Because I'm ready for that next round.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't know what's your speculation. I don't even want to speculate on it. Never mind. I just don't.
Speculate on what?
On when we're going to be cruising again.
Well, okay. That was podcast number 18. Thanks so much for stuff. No, honestly, though, from a business perspective, there's a few things going on. So it's a business that realizes that it won't be open really anytime soon.
Right.
So you have to address the issues. How are you going to stay afloat? How are you going to have enough money to operate with no revenue coming in? And we've seen the cruise lines do that in several different ways. They've raised money to put money in their accounts so that they can stay open. And maybe you're right. Maybe there is an aspect of it that as people continue to book cruises, as people continue to make final payments, that does keep them cash flow positive. I won't say that that's not a technique that could be used. But the interesting thing is also there are people that are continuing to book new cruises.
Absolutely.
And people that aren't just using future cruise credits to book new cruises. There are people who are just legit saying, I'm going to cruise. Here's a fresh booking. And so if all of a sudden, if you canceled all the cruises at once, I think the systems would be so overwhelmed with trying to process those cancellations. Like, it's not just automatic. You don't just say, look, I'm canceling my cruise, and then it happens. Like, somebody has to do something, right? You have to either call in yourself, you go on through an online portal, you work with a travel agent, and then on their end, they have to process it. And so I just don't think you could do it all at once. And we can see that it's not happening very quickly. Of course, the other conspiracy, refunds aren't coming quick because people are holding, because the cruise line's holding on to money. But at the same time, the word coming out from the cruise lines are like, we're just overwhelmed trying to process refunds.
Right.
And from our own experience and from our own interaction with people are getting refunds, but it's
a trickle.
It's the 60, it's the 90 day.
Right.
So that's interesting.
Yeah, and I mean, even, people that had add-ons, like drink packages and decorations for the rooms or bottles of alcohol to the room, all those sort of add-on things, excursions, all of those come from different departments, those refunds. So they're even getting those funds back at different times.
Right. Now, here's a question that I got on one of my YouTube videos today, and I don't know if you know the answer or not. But, when people pay for their cruise, they can use their credit card, they can use their debit card, they can use a gift card.
Right.
I don't know all the different ways that you can pay for a cruise. Mm-hmm. But what happens if 4 months ago I booked a cruise with my debit card and then my debit card got hacked, so I had to get a new debit card? Mm-hmm. What happens if when they go to return my cruise payment, I don't have that form of payment anymore? I have a different debit card number. How do I get my money back?
Unfortunately, what the cruise lines are saying is it is going to be refunded to the original form of payment. So it's going to be refunded to your closed account. So it is your responsibility to get in touch with your financial institute and let them know, hey, this is what what's happening. I'm going to be getting a refund on that card, that was canceled out. So
are the cruise lines like, how do you know you got your refund back from the cruise line? Like, you're just looking for it to show up in your account, or is there any way?
You're just looking for it to show up in your account. I mean, I could call, or if you booked it yourself, you can call. And really all they're saying is they're not giving you a definite date. They're just kind of just saying, yes, it is in the process of being refunded. And it can take up, when you call some days, at that point it may be 20 days. And then you could call back in a week and they're going to tell you it's 60 days. So
if you're sitting there and you say, I think my payment form has changed.
Right.
Then the best thing to do is, I'm just trying to figure out when I would start calling my bank, because if you don't know necessarily when your refund's coming,
right,
that's a challenge. I remember this in the past too. If you paid with a gift card, aren't they going to mail you out a gift card?
They're actually mailing out gift cards, yes.
All right, so those are some things to be aware of.
If you use a travel agent, most of the time it's going to be sent to that agency.
Right. Mm-hmm. That's tricky.
It's tricky.
It's tricky. And then people...
So the best bet...
What's the best bet?
I mean, is to take the future cruise credit.
Here's the deal, right? You can take the refund and wait for the refund.
Right.
You can take the future cruise credit, and most of the time the future cruise credit comes with some sort of additional bonus. Some cruise lines are offering a multiple on the future cruise credit, like 125%.
Right.
Some cruise lines are offering a 100% future cruise credit with some pile of onboard credit.
Right.
But then what about the person that says, look, I don't want any more future cruise credit. I just want my money, because what happens if the cruise line goes bankrupt and I'm sitting there holding the future cruise credit?
And, unfortunately, that is, a good thought process. None of us know.
Right.
When I have clients that are concerned about it, we talk it out, we discuss it, and we choose the best option for them. And most of the time, for them to feel comfortable, it is to get the refund, and then they rebook with a minimal amount of money out there for a deposit.
It's challenging. We took the refund on our Princess cruise.
We did because we don't have any Princess in sight right now.
Right.
But like if it was, one of the cruise lines that we hop on all the time that is a little more convenient in the ports, I probably would have taken the future cruise credit.
A lot of these decisions are being made. So right now, cruising is set to resume for some cruise lines in June.
Right, some in July.
And some in July. Yeah. So we'll continue to watch it going forward. And these conversations, just the ones that we've touched on briefly here, they will continue to be conversations for the rest of the year, I'm assuming.
I think so. I think that, it's just going to be like at the beginning, it was like day by day, right? But now it's kind of week by week of different cruise lines. Like this past week, NCL and MSC announced their next wave of suspensions, So right. I think that each week it is going to be something, and we just wait to hear from CDC and the cruise line, presidents and vice presidents, and just take it day by day, but we're all in it together. And I want to go cruising July 18th.
Do you want to go cruising July 18th? Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. Well, let's talk about cruising. Of course, there's tons of news out there, and let's talk about this. So I was thinking about what I would give up on a cruise.
Okay.
So who knows
for your safety?
Who knows what? No, just in general.
Oh, just to give up. Okay.
There was an interesting conversation I was a part of that I've been a part of a couple times about. When you go on a cruise and you eat a hamburger opposed to eating food in the MDR, that you're not getting the most value for your cruise money because, let's say, a steak in the MDR costs more than a burger on the Lido.
All right. My thing is this, though. If I don't feel like getting dressed to go to the MDR, convenience is that hamburger is well worth it over the steak.
All right, let's put this spin on it. Say you're on one of those cruise lines like NCL that you don't have to. You can go naked to the.
I don't think you can go naked.
It's pretty loose, I've heard. Okay. You can go naked to the MDR. So this is the epiphany that I had. Do you think so? I always. These cruise lines that do the inclusive food, like the extra inclusive food options, and I don't want to feel like I'm picking on Carnival because I'm not. But if you think about what Carnival has going on, they've got Guy's Burger on mini ships. They've got Guy's Burger.
Right.
They've got the Blue Iguana Cantina. Sometimes they have the Pig and Anchor.
Right.
They got the Pizza Pirate. And they got the deli, all open during the lunch and dinner period.
And they're going to have fried chicken now on Mardi Gras.
They're going to have fried chicken. All of these things seemingly would cost less than going to the MDR. This might be brilliant. Like, do you think that they did the math somewhere and said, look, even though it's going to cost us some money to put these other included food options on there, in the long run, we're going to save more money than a lot of people going to the MDR?
I mean, absolutely, right? Because you're going to be able to run your MDR with less crew.
Yeah.
So right there, you're going to save some money.
Well, this is interesting. Like, I really spent a lot of time thinking about this today. If you go to Guy's Burgers, there's like 4 to 6 guys there.
Right.
Or crew there making burgers. And they can feed 100 people, 200 people with those 5 or 6 guys. But if you're going to serve like 200 people in the MDR, I'm thinking that's at least, double the guys.
Absolutely.
Double the servers.
It has to be.
And then the food cost and the plates and the tablecloths or silverware. This could just be brilliant. Like, I don't know why it never dawned on me that a lot of people say, well, included food options, they're just distracting, that kind of thing. But it really could be a way to reduce the overall cost of the main dining room.
I mean, absolutely. And you know what, too? They have, like if people want a good burger, and a lot of people think that the Guy's Burger is a good burger.
Yep.
You're going to exclusively go to on Carnival ships.
Right.
There's definitely that aspect. So if you can get an exclusivity on something, that's great marketing.
No, there is that component also, especially when they do like partnerships with Guy and the partnerships with Shaq. I just always thought those things would cost more. Like it would be more a pain to have the extra burger place, to have the licensing deal with Guy, or to have the licensing deal with Shaq. But at the end of the day, it could be less cost than I don't know. I don't have a way to prove it, but that's just one thing that I'm thinking about. So with those things in mind, if you could have only one, if you could only have the MDR, or if you could only have those 5 different kind of included food options, not even talking about the buffet, that's a classic argument, but let's go included food on Carnival versus the MDR. You have to kill one. Are you keeping Guy's Blue Iguana, the deli, the pizza, and maybe a pig and anchor, or would you want to keep the MDR over those choices?
I would want to keep the MDR.
So you would, if you had the choice, you would go on a ship that didn't have those things, and you would just have the MDR.
Right.
What do you like about the MDR more than those things?
I like that I feel like I'm going out to dinner every night. I get a sit-down meal. I get to chit-chat with people next to me, talk to...
In a semi-quiet environment.
Yeah, and I think that it's just relaxing. For me, it's elegant, and I'm not even talking about elegant night, right? Like I'm just going, in a pair of slacks and a nice shirt or whatever. But I like the MDR. I like the ambiance of it.
I would agree. I think, so I've had some good included food. So like if we were on Princess, that means none of that international cafe 24-hour deal. I would definitely pick the main dining room. It's a challenge because there's sometimes when you can't make your dining time, that kind of thing, and it's nice to have those, and that's why they have both. But if I had to kill one, if I had to not have one on the cruise ship, I'm still bought into that main dining room experience more so than the fast included. Well,
and you got to think too, right? Like before they had all these inclusive areas of meals. They had the MDR, they had room service, and they had the midnight buffet.
Right.
So there was always food at your leisure whenever you wanted. But I think because they have cut back on so many different things, they have got to have both.
I think so. Well, that's, and that's one thing I've always given to Carnival, because instead of cutting back on things, I feel like they give you extra things. You'll go on some cruise lines, like some people say, like the only included food on Norwegian would be the local or O'Sheehan, something like that.
Right.
So it's easy for me to go, well, you got like 5 things on Carnival that's included. It's interesting. It's an interesting thing. But yeah, I would kill all the included food and keep the main dining room. Let me ask you this. The main theater.
Right.
Or the Lido deck, if you had to take one of them off a cruise. Cruising could have shows, but there would be no pool time, no walking around under the stars at night, no pool. Well, I guess you can still walk around under the stars, but kill the outside, kill the white party outside, no Lido or no main theater.
So for me, I'd be okay with not seeing the Love and Marriage show and those sort of things. To keep the Lido entertainment.
And the pool itself.
And the pool.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's cruising. The pool and the loud music.
Well, I mean, you can say that, but we're talking about our own personal preferences.
Well, I mean, my personal preference.
That's what we're talking about here.
Right. So my personal preference is probably the theater.
Yeah, I mean.
But like for cruising in itself, I would think that it would be like an 80-20.
Well, if we were talking about cruising in itself, I know a lot of people that would kill the main dining room and keep
yeah.
But no, for me, like if you looked at my cruising experience, I've used the main theater way more than I've used the Lido deck.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So I would kill the Lido deck.
Yeah.
I would kill the Lido deck.
Yeah, like we've only been in the pool a couple times.
Yeah.
But we are in the theater at least 2 or 3 times a day.
Yeah. I would kill that. So, I mean, we're not killing the casino for anything. I don't think there's any, there's any comparison.
Casino has got to stay.
Like, I don't think I could sway you off of that at all. I would just kill the photos. I'm not even trading it for anything.
No, I'm with you on that. So many people nowadays have their own phones and those sort of things. But listen, I understand why they still have it. People love to see pictures of themselves. It is something mental. I know for me, it's something mental that if I see a picture of us, I know they're just going to get rid of it. So like I want to buy it.
Right.
Know? So
I see what you're saying. Like if you see the printed copy,
right,
you feel bad and you want the picture.
Yeah.
They charge too much for those pictures.
I mean, they do. Like and that's the thing, right? Like if they would cut their prices like even 25%, they probably would get 50% more people to buy it. Because right now, what are they, like $15 or something like that?
No, like a lot of lines, the pictures are $25, $30.
All right, yeah. So like if it's $25 and they cut it down to $10, I'm so buying 2 pictures.
Of the paper pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like I'm trying to think. So I know there's a lot of good profit in those pictures, and that's why they do it. I don't know how many people they employ as photographers. So
I want to think that it's been getting less because they're not up in your face anymore.
Yeah, well, not everybody enjoys that. That would almost be an interesting perk, like if you went all digital,
right?
Where it doesn't cost them anything to make the pictures, other than the people taking the pictures and kind of the storage,
right?
It would be interesting, like if they made my cruise $20 or $30 more, and I could have all the pictures taken by professional photographers. I would find that to be a pretty neat amenity.
Absolutely, but I mean, there was a cruise line that decided to do that. Remember, they had these wonderful packages, and they just saw they were losing too much money because too many people were buying it.
Well, they did it with the printing out pictures. And so it was like you could pay a price and get as many pictures printed as possible.
Right.
I think if they just would have went digital only, they could have done it. But
yeah, I mean, like if they had just a digital little thumb drive, I would buy it for $30.
Yeah, like all the pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then it also depends, right? Because they are backing off a little bit with taking pictures of the guests.
Right.
So it's like if I'm only going to get 2 pictures on that thumb drive, no, I'm not going to buy it.
Yeah, I would be in line all the time. And maybe that's it. Maybe once that everybody signed up for the inexpensive package, that it became like really long lines, right, and those kind of things.
Right.
So yeah, it wouldn't bother me if they killed pictures. I don't usually.
Yeah, kill pictures. Give us higher internet.
Better internet.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say this: if you either had to choose internet or the cruise line, for whatever reason, the only thing that they could put on the cruise, they could either put on the internet or they could serve coffee. So you have to kill one of them: no internet or no coffee.
I mean, that's like putting pins in my eyes.
That's right.
Like, which one do I want the most? I think I'm going to have to kill coffee because I can have caffeine and soda.
Killing coffee for the internet. I mean, it's not a fair question because we need it for the work that we do.
Right.
But let's imagine we don't need it for the work that we do. You just need it to look at Facebook. And
so our first cruise, we did not have any internet.
Right.
And I didn't miss it.
I didn't miss it either. It was a weird phenomenon, like when we finally made it back to land and we were connected again.
Yeah, it was, but it was really, there was a different connection to us in the sea and the ship and each other.
Right.
Without the internet. I think. But I think differently than you do.
Yeah. I was just trying to think back, like, as to what that was like.
You remember weird. Your brother was the only one that had the internet.
Yeah, my brother.
Well, not even the internet. He just had the social media package
so that he could get on Facebook.
Yeah, and we sometimes at MDR we'd be like, Chris, what's going on?
Yeah, tell us what's going on in the world.
Chris, can you send the kids a message for us?
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Yeah.
What else would we kill on a cruise ship? Would you cruise director? Do you have to have a cruise director?
I don't have to have a cruise director because we make our own fun, right? Like we'll find something to do in our own schedule. I love the cruise director. I think it is the most enjoyable. I think Carnival hands down has the best cruise directors.
Yeah.
I think that they're energetic, they're fun, they get people involved. So I just feel that it depends on what kind of mood I'm in, right? Like Celebrity, Carlos was fantastic. He was very low key, but you knew he was around.
Right. It's interesting.
I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, we've been on cruises that the cruise director didn't play that big of a role.
Right.
And they were fine. Mm-hmm. But I have had a really good time with, in crowds where the cruise director there is whipping them up. Mm-hmm. I think I do like a cruise that has a cruise director that you could see. I'm just trying to think what I would trade. Like if I had to choose the casino over a cruise director, I'm choosing the casino.
Absolutely.
If I had to choose the main theater over cruise director, I would choose that. MDR, I would choose the MDR over the cruise. I'm just trying to think of something that I would. Okay, so pictures. If I had to choose pictures of the cruise director, I would take the cruise director. Cruise director over getting off the cruise ship. You could either have a cruise director and always have to stay on the cruise ship, or if you wanted to get off the cruise ship, there's no cruise director. Which would you pick?
No cruise director.
So you like the option of getting off the ship?
Yeah, I mean, like I'm one that I do love the ship.
Yeah.
But I want the option.
Yeah. All right, so the cruise director doesn't make it beyond the ports don't beat him. He doesn't beat the ports. It's pictures so far. Coffee or the cruise director?
Coffee.
Coffee over the cruise director. Soft serve ice cream over the cruise director.
Ice cream.
I'll take the cruise director on that one.
No.
Escargot over the cruise director.
Escargot.
I think I would take escargot. That's true. Would you rather have the cruise director or where the crew dances in the main dining room?
Cruise director.
Cruise director or towel animals?
Cruise director.
So there are some things that the cruise director beats.
Yeah.
A few.
Yeah.
What about stand-up? I'm just trying to stand-up comedy or bingo. Which would you throw off the cruise?
Bingo.
You get rid of bingo, go to stand-up. I think I would too.
Yeah. Let's see. Room service or the cruise director?
I'd take the cruise director over room service.
Yeah.
There's plenty of other places to get.
Absolutely.
All right, so the cruise director is winning a little bit. Would you rather have the ship have a captain or the cruise director?
Captain, all day long.
I'll take the captain.
I will give up everything for the captain. I would even give up coffee for the captain.
Stand-up comedy or the hairy man contest?
Stand-up comedy.
You'd keep that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What else do we love about cruise? I like. The thing is, I haven't been on a cruise yet that I haven't been able to find something that I like.
I mean, absolutely. Like we've been on some pretty laid back cruise lines, and I mean, I've had a ball on every single cruise we've been on.
A ball? You've had a ball on every single cruise?
Yes, I was Cinderella going to the ball. Let's talk about this.
Okay. What
was the best mattress and pillows that you slept on all the cruise lines that we've been on?
I don't know. I don't. No. Nah. Like I don't recall having any great sleeping experiences on a cruise.
I have to say that I feel that Carnival has the softest sheets.
Yeah.
They have the softest blankets. Remember that one blanket that we just had on the Sunrise? It was that fluffy pillow, like the fluffy one that you bought me for Christmas. And pillows, I gotta give it to Celebrity having the pillow menu.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, remember I was able to. Oh, you know what? I don't like this pillow. Can I try a different pillow? And I think by the end of our cruise that week, I think we had like 10 different pillows.
We did have 10 different pillows on the bed.
Yeah.
Thinking about going back cruising, are we done with interior cabins?
I think so.
For a little while.
Yeah, I think that I wouldn't want to be staying in an interior cabin.
If something went wrong.
Right. As much, and you know that I'm an interior cabin person.
Yeah.
Right. Like I like the economics of it. I like that we can go on more sailings because we save money on the cabin, because we're very rarely in the cabin.
Right.
But you know, with what is going on, I'm going to feel much more comfortable having a balcony.
Yeah, I agree. You know, I used to say I would rather take 4 cruises in an interior cabin than 2 cruises in a balcony.
Right.
I have flip-flopped on that. I would just, if I could only cruise twice in a year, I would, in a balcony, then I would cruise twice in a year in a balcony. I'm getting used to the bigger rooms now, you know, now that we've had a few.
Yeah, and I
want the access to the outside, to fresh air.
Yeah, what we do, you know, we need to have the couch. We need to have areas to work. You know, there are so many places, though, on the ship that you can work, you know, or, you know, set up. But, yeah, I like having the fresh air.
Yeah, I like having the fresh air.
Yeah.
Specialty dining. Would you care if specialty dining went away on a cruise ship?
No.
You'd be sad. Look, when we went on our first cruise, this is 100% true. My goal was to spend $0. Like, you told me that we paid for our cruise.
That's right.
That included food.
Uh-huh.
That included entertainment.
Right.
That included like beverages like water, tea, coffee.
Mm-hmm.
In my mind, I said I don't have to spend another $1.
That's right.
On this cruise. And I think our first bill was $43.
It was pretty amazing.
We didn't do specialty dining. We didn't do anything.
No, but we had a couple of alcoholic drinks.
I don't think we bought alcoholic drinks. They were gifted to us at the end of the cruise.
What did we spend $43 on? Casino? Oh, no, I bought some stuff.
Yeah, like we bought a bag and we bought a picture and it wasn't much. Maybe a souvenir.
Well, how come our bills are so much now?
No, I don't know why our bills are so much now, but we do. We tend to do specialty dining, and we're always buying the highest internet.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
That's true. We didn't have internet the first one.
Yeah,
and there was no specialty dining on that ship either. So
no, they had the upgrade.
Oh, that's right. You got the upgrade.
I think I got the upgrade.
That was part of the $43.
Yeah, I think I paid $20 for a lobster tail or something.
Yeah.
It wasn't good.
It was not worth it.
It wasn't good.
No. In my head, I was like, oh, I'm so glad I didn't get that.
It's an interesting time in cruising. And yeah, just a little bit of a thought experiment there. What would you kill on a cruise ship? Leave us a comment. If you're watching this on the video podcast, leave a comment in the YouTube comments. What would you kill? What would you give up on a cruise if you were forced to give up something? And hey, just a few ways that this podcast is supported. It is supported by you by using the travel services offered by my wife, Jenny, here. If you need help with your future cruise credit, if you need help booking a cruise, if you have questions about travel at all, you can reach out to Jenny. She'll be glad to help you. The best way to reach her is by email, jbarnette, JBARNETTE, at cruiseshipcenters.com. And then you can also support this podcast by becoming a member of the Loca Extra crew over on Patreon. Got extra videos over there, extra content, all for the low price of $5. And you help keep this podcast going. Please check it out over there, www.patreon.com/Lido Loca.
Yes.
All right, guys, that's episode 18 of the podcast.
Episode 18 of the podcast.
My name's Tony.
Oh, I thought I was Tony.
My name's Tony.
And I'm Jenny.
We are Lido Loca, and until the next time,
we'll see you on the Lido.
See you on the Lido.
Bye.
Bye.